What a week. Actually, these last 2 weeks have been quite intense. I've been back on the road, traveling through our beautiful republic, speaking to young entrepreneurs and would be solutions architects for challenges facing their communities and the markets they wish to serve. I was in Kimberley, famous for the start of the diamond rush in South Africa around 1866. Nowadays, town has become or derives most of its income from tourism, especially people visiting to see the big hole. This is or due to intensive digging of the diamond bearing pipe at the Colesberg Kopje, resulted in the creation of the big hole, the largest hand dug excavation in the world. It's just a hole in the middle of the earth. I found it very boring. Viewing this, all I could see was the extractive nature of commerce in Africa. The companies, the entrepreneurs, and the shareholders who became unworldly rich mostly extracted that wealth out of South Africa to Europe and other Western economies, leaving behind nothing. Hundreds of years later, what is left is a town tithering on near poverty, where young people see charities, non governmental organizations, or NGOs as the only means to which their lives can be improved. Business as a force for good is divorced from their lexicon. I was asked to adjudicate on an innovation competition for the National Department of Trade. I was thoroughly impressed by some of the solutions proposed, proving once again that South Africa is rich in entrepreneurial talent and ability to find innovative solutions. The applications that I got to look at varied from low-cost market applications as well as high-end markets. And the fact that each entrepreneur had done their homework to fully understand their target market showed the maturing nature of the South African entrepreneurial ecosystem. There are, like in many things in the world, negatives and negative outliers in this. Some of the concepts, or actually none of the concepts that I got to see were bad in any shape, form, or manner. But I had problems with one, two, or maybe three. Why would you want to go and submit a 57-page business plan or a 50-slide deck? That's a bit much. And this is what entrepreneurs need to understand. Maybe less is truly a little bit more. Lastly, I was asked by the South African Local Government Association, generally referred to as SALGA, to facilitate and assist in their annual pitch deck competition. This was the second installment, showcasing innovative solutions to challenges facing local authorities throughout the country. The theme last year was the protection of municipal infrastructure, and some awesome ideas around security tech came to the forefront. The winner, as well as the runner-up solutions, have already been implemented and piloted, respectively, all these coming from regular civil servants. Well, in my experience, has been that there is nothing regular about these folks. The deep passion that they have for their communities and improving the lives of the people within their municipalities is very commendable. This year's theme, on the other hand, was on finding solutions to enhance municipal revenues. Oh boy, this was a fascinating scene to behold. Though local authorities are similar, their means by which to get in more revenue is vastly different. Some areas are deeply impoverished, while others are on the platinum belt of South Africa. Some are so rural, it boggles the mind and others in modern cities, cited as some of the best in the world. But true to the South African spirit, the innovative solutions proposed spoke to the challenges at hand, finding ways to balance revenue enhancement with community development and service delivery. I was in awe of these civil servants. If we had more of this caliber of people in government, South Africa would be a globally leading country. Now, during all of these experiences, spanning 4 cities in 12 days, I was impressed to guide our conversation for this week around the entrepreneurial journey. The idea that we have is merely the start. There is so much more ahead that needs to be contended with. And in so many ways, family as well as friends will seldom be able to understand what you are doing and why you are always pushing to make this dream a reality. And that is the curse of being a focused founder, trying to grow your venture and manifest the future you've seen in your mind's eye. Good morning, everyone. I'm back home in Cape Town. Looks like a dreary winter's morning. And welcome to the Core Podcast, the podcast dedicated to exploring the mindset, strategies, and stories of those who dare to dream big and build something extraordinary. We are here to empower entrepreneurs with the real world stories of fortitude, grit, and getting to the core of the journey. I'm your host and Chief Advocate for Entrepreneurship, Yongama Skweyiya. Welcome to the pod. Today, we are diving into the topic that lies at the heart of every successful venture: the importance of having a clear vision and the tenacity to see it through. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned business owner, or simply someone looking to grow in your personal or professional life, this episode is for you. Let's talk about why clarity and grit are non negotiables on the road to success and how to keep moving forward even when the path gets rocky. This week, I have spent mostly on the road between 3 provinces, which is the Western Cape, Gauteng, and the Northern Cape. At all three, I have met with entrepreneurs and would-be entrepreneurs trying to find, explore, and implement solutions to challenges that they find they wish to solve. This is not an easy task on the side of the entrepreneurs, and it does not happen overnight. This week has been especially challenging for me, and at many turns, I found myself almost losing my cool and shouting at my teammates. With cause, of course, but not in any way my leadership style. The pressure of all the deliverables for the week and the lack of time to get them all done has hit maximum levels. In processing all this, I got to think about the vision of the business. Our aim is to build a pan-African financial services gorilla, because we don't have unicorns in Africa, able to compete with international behemoths. Our goal is to supply meaningful businesses, founders, and entrepreneurial teams with the needed capital to grow their ventures into internationally competitive enterprises. This big and bold vision comes with some drawbacks. Firstly, finding A players to join us has been difficult. Always trying to ensure everyone is on their A game has its challenges, and personally, having to wait for people to submit as agreed upon instead as immediately as I need it has been tough. But this is the nature of growth. This is the nature of venturing. This is the nature of building a business and a team in order to create something incredible for the future. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start with vision. What is it really? A vision isn't just a vague idea or a dream you scribble on a piece of paper. It's a vivid, compelling picture of what you want to create, achieve, or become, usually born out of some dream or feeling you have, where you have seen the goal you are trying to achieve. It is something you so strongly believe in, you could swear you have done it before and now just trying to get back to where you know you want to be. That is the power of a vision. It's your North Star, the guiding light that keeps you focused when distractions, doubts, and setbacks threaten to pull you off your course. And oh boy, those will come, and it will happen numerous times. Think about some of the most successful entrepreneurs and innovators in history. Steve Jobs didn't just want to make computers. He wanted to put a dent in the universe by creating tools that empower people. Jobs as a leader had a crystal clear vision that and that clarity became the foundation for everything he built. But here's the thing. Having a vision is only the first step. The real challenge lies in sticking to it, especially when the going gets tough. Let's be honest, the entrepreneurial journey is not for the faint of heart. It's a roller coaster of highs and lows, victories and failures, breakthroughs and breakdowns. There will be moments when you question everything, your idea, your abilities, even your sanity. And those moments, it's your vision that will anchor you. But vision alone isn't enough. You need something else. You also need tenacity, the relentless determination to keep going no matter what. Tenacity is what turns a vision into reality. It's what helps you push through the sleepless nights, the rejections, the naysayers, and the countless obstacles that stand in your way. There are countless stories of entrepreneurs who lived in their factory premises as they had no money for basics, and that drove them to success. Where people would have a spouse living with them in deplorable environment because they had no other means. But that anchored them to be able to focus and have a clear vision that will lead to success at a later stage. Now, let's talk about hurdles. Because no matter how clear your vision or how strong your resolve, you will encounter challenges. Maybe it's a lack of funding, a failed product launch, or a team that doesn't share your vision. Maybe it's self doubt creeping in, whispering that you are not good enough or that your idea is doomed to fail. Here's the truth, those hurdles aren't roadblocks, they are merely stepping stones. As my wife likes to mention, I keep failing forward. And that is possible for each and every one of us. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to learn, grow, and refine your vision. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of the process. The key is to keep your eyes squarely on the big picture and remind yourself why you started in the first place. Maybe it's a thing to do when you write down your vision. You need to revisit it at least 4 times a year, every quarter, just to understand why you are doing this so that it is crystal clear what the vision is. And as you will know and experience, as you evolve, get more experience, and understand the market, your vision will change somewhat. It will improve. You will see more of it, or maybe you will see a different route to it. And all of that is normal. Take it in as part of the journey. Look, life sucks, but it sucks for everyone. How you show up and execute daily is what will set you apart and allow you to overcome any internal challenges you get, and allow you to accept the external challenges you cannot change, but find alternative routes to success. For one needs to keep in mind, there is no one route to anything. There are multiple routes to serving your customer. There are multiple routes to finding success, and there are multiple routes to finding meaning in life. And our role as individuals is to find ways or means, or more importantly, the route that most works for us. Again, going back to a previous conversation that we had, the fact that someone takes your idea is not earth-shattering, because ultimately they will never be able to implement it in the manner that you would have implemented it. It's the same thing with your vision. Even if you find that the market that you want to serve no longer exists, your vision will evolve into something else that is still in line with the primary requirement that you have of achieving that vision, but achieving it differently. And as you mature, you will find that certain things that were important when you started are maybe now less important. And you find that you view importance differently, and maybe new things have come about that now are more important than the things that were important in the beginning. So, how do you cultivate the clarity and tenacity you need to succeed? Here are a few practical things you can do. Define your vision with precision. Take the time to articulate exactly what you want to achieve. Write it down, visualize it, and revisit it. And even if other people laugh at you for doing this, it doesn't matter. It is your vision. It is your future. You need to put in the time to fully visualize and internalize the vision that you have. For the more specific your vision is, the easier it will be to stay focused on it. Secondly, break it down into milestones. We've got this whole thing about wanting to build big businesses because we see big businesses around us. And it doesn't work like that. You don't take on the task of traveling 1,000 kilometers by just traveling 1,000 kilometers. You break it down into meaningful small bits that you can achieve. Let's say, first 10 days, you just cover 5 kilometers a day. After that, you increase your tempo to 8, and so on and so forth, until you get to your destination, which is 1,000 kilometers away. So big goals can feel overwhelming. Break them into smaller, actionable steps and celebrate each small win along the way. This might sound dumb, like, yeah, keep on celebrating, but what have I really done? Well, in the grand scheme of your vision, not much, but the fact that you are on this road and progressing and going forward, you have done a lot. Because the antithesis or the opposite of that is you sitting and not actually even starting. Because let's be frank, some people have dreams, visions, and hopes, but never get onto the road to actually starting or embarking on that journey. So the fact that you are hitting your small milestones is an incredible achievement, and it should be celebrated as such. Thirdly, embrace failure and feedback. I'm going to repeat this. Embrace failure as feedback. Not, this is the wall upon which I died. It is feedback. When things don't go as planned, don't take it personally. Analyze what went wrong, learn from it, and use that knowledge to improve. Because anything worth doing will be difficult to get done. And you can't give up at the first obstacle, hurdle, or whatever. You need to find out, what did I do wrong? How did I do it wrong? How can I improve? And start implementing and going forward. Fourthly, surround yourself with support. Build a network of mentors, peers, and cheerleaders who believe in your vision and can help you stay motivated. You know, it's not just friends that can derail you, even family. And if you have a situation where your friends and family are not supportive and are actually abusive, maybe you need to extract yourself from constant or repeat contact with these people or intense contact. Now, I'm not advocating that you should throw away your family and friends, but I do advocate for mental fortitude that is based on getting positive things in your life. And if your friends and family are not able to do that for you, you should probably minimize contact. Lastly, practice resilience. Tenacity is a muscle. The more you exercise it, by pushing through challenges and refusing to give up, the stronger it gets. It's all up to you. In order to be tenacious, go through things. I hope all of that makes sense. Just as an overview, firstly, define your vision or your vision with precision. Secondly, break it down into milestones. Thirdly, embrace failure as feedback. Fourthly, surround yourself with support. And lastly, practice resilience. At the end of the day, the entrepreneurial journey is as much about self-discovery as it is about building a business. It's about testing your limits, uncovering your strengths, and proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. So if you are feeling stuck or discouraged, remember this. Every great venture started with a vision, and every vision faced obstacles. At a point in time, Google was a concept. Then it was a research project. Then it became a startup. Then it became a small business. Then it became a medium sized business, and so on and so forth, to becoming the $1 trillion behemoth that we see today. And now, just to show that they fancy, they renamed it to Alphabet. That could be you in a decade or two. What sets successful entrepreneurs apart is their refusal to let obstacles define them. They keep their eyes on the prize, stay true to their vision, and keep moving forward one step at a time. Thank you for joining me on this episode of The Visionary Path. If this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your stories of vision and tenacity with me on social media, or leave comments on the podcast page. And if you found this episode helpful in any way, please share it with others. And hopefully this gives you a little bit of inspiration in order to take on the tasks of the day. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep striving, and keep believing in the power of your vision. This is Yongama Square signing off. Remember, the path to success isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. See you on the next episode of the Core Podcast. Until next time, keep the core strong.